Hello, this is Dr. Michael Shear with the Learn Locator, a free resource on how to treatment plan, utilize, and maintain locator attachments for implant overdentures. The purpose of this video is to help address any frequently asked questions that may be out there about the new and exciting CHAIRSIDE Denture Prep and Polish Kit. I've had a lot of requests to answer some of these questions in the video format, so that way we can kind of go through each one of the demonstrations. This video certainly hopes to aim to do that. So the Zest CHAIRSIDE Denture Prep and Polish Kit, as referenced in other videos, is a really exciting new kit that's all-encompassing, everything that you would need to prepare a recess hole within a complete denture or a partial denture in preparation of a locator denture cap or SATURNO denture cap. And one of the questions I get all the time is what's the indication? When should we use these CHAIRSIDE burrs? In all reality, these CHAIRSIDE Prep and Polish Kit is really intended to prepare and polish a full or partial acrylic denture as a part of a CHAIRSIDE clinical or a laboratory step. So all the burrs that are included in here are really well designed for the purposes of preparing a recess hole, undercut, and the lingual vent hole. For preparation of the attachment processing, either SATURNO or locator, where the bottom three burrs are best intended to use for trimming, grinding, polishing, or the final steps after the denture cap has been firmly attached to the complete denture. And the second follow-up question I usually get to that is what each burr, it seems like, you know, they're all different. How many uses can you get out of each one of these burrs? Well, there's a few clinical guidelines that we should talk about. The service life of these instruments and these burrs really vary, and it just totally depends upon the application, burr speed, or the material that's used to treat. So if you kind of bump into a metal, cobalt, chrome framework, or if you've got a metal framework within your complete denture, chances are you're going to go through your preparation burrs faster. But the polishing burrs, especially this polishing one, is a single use only burr. So this burr right here is one use only. Zest does not recommend running that through the sterilizer. It is not intended to do so. However, each one of these other burrs, on average, about 50 uses per burr. And you certainly can order each individual burr from Zest Anchors. That information is on the Zest Anchors website, as well as in the manual for the Denture Prep and Polish Kit. So of each one of these burrs, many times the next question I get from people is well, how fast can I use these things? You know, I know this kit is supposed to make me more fast and inefficient. How fast can I run each burr? Well, there is a chart that is available from Zest Anchors, and I'll display it here on the screen here for you. But these are the recommended speeds for the RPMs of each burr, as well as the maximum speed. And it can get kind of confusing pretty quick. But as a general rule of thumb, each one of the burrs that you see on the top, you can use at full high speed in a straight handpiece or a nose cone in your clinical operatory. The bottom three burrs you do want to use a little bit slower, but you're welcome to use those at full high speed, except for the polishing burr. This polishing burr should be used at low speed, just because what will happen is if you try to run this at high speed, this part will actually really start displaying quite a bit of centrifugal force, and it'll break away from the burr. So you only want to use this one on low speed. The rest of these burrs you can use on a moderate to a high speed. Importantly to note that irrigation or coolant is not necessary for the use of these burrs. So if you're using them in a clinical nose cone or with a specially designed RPM electric handpiece in your operatory, you don't need to use water or any sort of coolant. I certainly don't recommend that. And each one of these burrs, this is a lot of times the next question, what are these burrs made from? Each one of these burrs has a stainless steel shank. All of them, more or less, are using a stainless steel shank. On the top here is a carbide cutting head. They're all carbide cutting heads except for this locator recess burr. The locator recess burr is a one-piece stainless steel, and then all the rest of these are a stainless steel shank with a carbide cutting end. Now, of course, the polishing burr, this is a silicone impregnated tip that's attached to a stainless steel shank. It really, all these instruments are pretty well designed and are designed for efficient removal of the acrylic within the denture or partial denture. Many times I get the question, okay, well, you told me about the burrs. How much does the kit cost? Well, the retail MSRP, the suggested list price, is $249. And that usually ends up with the follow-up question of, well, why is this so expensive? Well, I'll put it to you this way. It's a premium burr kit in a premium design with a premium feel. Zest Anchors has really put a lot of thought and energy into this because they felt that the clinician would want a premium kit to include within their armamentarium. What I really like about the burr block, as opposed to just running a hodgepodge of a variety of other burrs, as what you would see here, you can clearly see that if you were a patient walking into an operatory and you had this displayed on the countertop instead of this is a very intimidating looking thing. It's scary, all these crazy shapes and different sizes, where something that is just so slick and so smooth is very well designed and very, very efficient. Now you say, okay, well, I really like this shape of a burr. I want to include that in my kit. Or, hey, I would really like a quarter round burr as well for any particular reason. Zest has designed this burr block so that way you could do that if you wanted to. There are additional holes on the side of the burr block. This kit, yes, it is expensive, but it is designed so it's easily and efficiently designed to prepare a locator recess hole or a SATURNO recess hole. The all-in-one burr block really makes it for easy organization, efficiency, and ultimately this does save valuable chair time, saving you money. So in essence, the burr block saves you money, even though it's a large expense at first. Over time, you'll notice that no burrs have gone missing. You don't have the little bag where you're throwing burrs into and burrs are poking through. A very sloppy presentation. The next question I get a lot of times is can this kit be autoclaved, and what are the sterilization parameters? Yes, the entire aluminum sterilization kit was designed to be autoclaved. All the components are supplied to you from Zest Anchors non-sterile, so we do recommend you to go ahead and run those through an autoclave, except for the polishing burr. The polished burr is a single use only and should be disposed after each individual use. Before you sterilize anything, you just want to check all the burrs, make sure nothing's damaged. Occasionally after a bunch of uses, you might have noticed that this burr could have gotten bent. You could have dropped something on the ground. It could have dropped on the countertop and bent the burr. You want to dispose of it immediately and don't run the risk of using it in a handpiece. If you're going to run something through a gravity autoclave, ideally you want to run it at 132 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes of exposure time and 30 minutes of dry time. A standard autoclave is at same 132 degrees Celsius, 4 minutes of exposure time and 20 minutes of dry time. Now the question is that how do I use these? What type of handpiece do I use this in? Well, clearly you can use it in a standard laboratory handpiece or a recommended nose cone handpiece, anything that you could use in your clinical chairside unit. Now the clinical chairside units, you have a couple of different options. Now of course the standard nose cone, this goes onto any sort of E-latch type motor. Zest does not recommend using anything like a Profi polisher. This is definitely not designed for use of these burrs. So either the standard nose cone or the laboratory handpiece is more than sufficient to use with the Zest chairside kit. The next question is can the polishers be autoclaved? And we've talked about this in a previous step, and the answer is no. The polisher burrs are not designed to be autoclaved. They are single-use only. So the question is how do I tell when I'm at the right depth with a recess burr for a locator or SATURNO attachment, the denture cap itself? Well, as we talked about here, you can see in the video the picture I'm displaying right here in front of you, but you can see that the recess burr is designed to use with the locator denture cap, just like so, or the SATURNO denture cap, just like so. There's a slightly deeper portion as you insert this into the denture itself, where it goes, the deeper end is corresponding to the SATURNO attachment, and the shallower end is corresponding to the locator attachment. At high speed, insert the burr vertically in the position of the attachment position and press until the surface of the denture is flush with the widest part for the locator, and then the slightly deeper part for the SATURNO. So the next question is that can I use the recessed burr with attachment housings from other suppliers? Well, the answer is yes, absolutely. Now, while the recessed burr certainly works best for the SATURNO and LOCATOR denture caps, it can easily be used to create a recess hole for other stud type of attachments, such as a ball and cap, O-ring, or like an ERA type attachment. Zest does not recommend using this burr to create a recess for a bar attachment for obvious reasons, a round preparation versus a slot preparation for a bar. So when it comes to undercuts, I often get a question, why do I need to place an undercut in the recess? Isn't there a chemical bond that's commercially available for these pickup materials to include the chairside pickup material? The chairside attachment processing material is mechanically held in place. It is best held in place by mechanical retention. A primer or bonding agent is not necessary, and we certainly recommend using additional mechanical undercuts to assist in bonding the chairside APM to the denture or denture cap. So that's kind of an important factor that we've displayed in other clinical demonstration and technique demonstration videos. And what if I wanted to create a larger lingual hole? So here's an example of just this standard 2 implant overdenture model, and you can see here that some clinicians would really like to use the larger recess hole, almost like a window, versus the vent hole. And yes, you can absolutely use the locator recess burr to do so. As you insert this way, you would just kind of turn your burr just a little bit to have it punch out just out the front, and then you can touch up and prepare down through the surface just like that. Now, do remember that when the window hole is created this large so you can see the denture cap inside of there, it's important that you must consider the strength of the denture. If a large window is created like this, a Zest chairside attachment processing material is not really indicated for these types of situations. We do recommend you to consider using an acrylic resin or something that's going to have a true chemical bond to the denture. And the reason for that is that the chairside material does bond well mechanically to the denture. However, it does not do well in situations where a large portion of the denture has been hollowed out. So finally, the question is that I get from some readers and some people that watch the videos is that hey, Doc, I have a preference for some other types of burrs. Can I just buy individual chairside burrs to complement my setup? And how much are they? Well, certainly, yes. The answer is you can very easily go ahead and purchase individual burrs from Zest anchors. Case in point, if you purchase the prep and polish kit and you run out of the polishing burrs, it's very easy. I'll display the information here on the screen for you. You can order just polishers. They come in a pack of 5. But Zest certainly has specifically designed this whole kit, allowing you to incorporate additional burrs of your own preference, like we talked about before. Now, if you wanted to purchase each individual burr on your own, of course you can do that, but it won't come in the burr block like you see here, and you might be going back down this road of the burr mess, like sometimes we are very accustomed to using. So I certainly encourage you to go ahead and check out zestanchors.com to learn some more information about the chairside denture prep and polish kit and how this can augment your implant overdenture techniques. This is Michael Shearer with Learn Locator, a free resource on how to treatment plan, utilize, and maintain locator attachments for implant overdentures. I certainly hope this video has been educational and has helped to address many of the questions that you have out there. If you have any other questions, feel free to send me an email or post on the video link below. It's a pleasure. Stay tuned for additional videos in the future. Have a great day. Bye-bye.